You're watching Building the Franchise with the New England Patriots, only on the MBL Network.
Welcome back to Building the Franchise with the New England Patriots. This is episode number 14, and in this episode, we're going to cover from week 11 in season 22 all the way through the draft, through the offseason, and into the end of the preseason for season 23, getting ready for the regular season. If you'll remember from episode number 13, we're not doing so hot this season so far. We're coming into this week 11 game against the Dolphins at 2-7, but we're hoping to rebound this week against the division rival.
A good one on tap here today. It's the Patriots coming in at 2-7, going up against the Dolphins, who come in at 1-8.
One of the biggest things to note with this game against the Dolphins is that with all the issues that we've been having so far on the season at quarterback, head coach Hedrick decided to bring in the rookie Turner Tennant. He was a third-round pick in the most recent draft, and he's not seen the field other than in preseason. He's not had a single snap against first-team defenses. So this really was a test for him, and more than anything, it appeared to just be a way for the team to see if he was the future in New England, if the third-round pick was worth it, if he was a bargain at that draft pick. And he did come in and he played a decent game against the tough division rival. He did throw 2 interceptions, but he threw 68% completion. And the one interception that really killed him was on the final drive of the game. He came in, was driving down the field, got on the other side of the 50, and threw an interception that ended the game. He also threw a risky pass to second-year tight end Stanley Corliss, threw it out in front of him too far and led him into a big hit, and Corliss ended up getting hurt again for the second season in a row. He's down for 6 weeks as the Dolphins hold on to win 13-7 in New England. For our Week 12 game, we head to Cincinnati, Ohio to take on the Bengals, who are coming into the game at 6-4. This is a team that really has given us trouble in the last few times we've played them, and an owner who seems to come up with just the right schemes against us each and every time we play. So it's definitely going to be a tough game, especially being away in Cincinnati.
We have a couple of teams who come off of losses just 1 week ago and now want to flip things back in a positive direction. It's the Patriots going up against the Bengals.
So once again, for the second game in a row, head coach Hedrick gives Turner Tennant, the rookie, the nod again for the start, and he comes in against the Bengals. He gets an easy touchdown closer to the beginning of the game with a little screen pass, and after that it kind of went downhill. He seemed to not quite be on the page with anyone other than DeAnthony Thomas. Thomas had 6 receptions, everybody else had 2 or less, and it really seemed to be the only receiver he could find out there, the only receiver that was getting separation against the opponent. And the interceptions that have been plaguing the Patriots all season long, no matter who's at quarterback, whether it's Doering, Romo, or Tennant, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. It doesn't matter what stage the game is on, whether it's on a live event or it's just a normal Sunday game. It doesn't matter what it is. They can't quite seem to be on the same page as the receivers, and they're making overthrows, the quarterbacks in general, and you know, it's really not what we expected when the team brought in Tom Brady as the QB coach. You would think somebody like Tom Brady, who has such influence on the game and such influence on the team, would have a little bit more impact on these younger quarterbacks and even Tony Romo, even though he's a veteran. But the Bengals did hold on to win this game 27-17, and really it was a second half game for the Bengals. After a 7-point loss against Buffalo in Week 13, we head to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, who are coming into the game at 6-6 for our Week 14 matchup.
Today's matchup features a very dangerous offense. The Eagles rank in the top 10 in total offense, and they go up against a Patriots defense that will need to be.
Have you ever watched one of those football games where it doesn't really seem like either team wants to win? That was kind of how this game against the Eagles went. Turner Tennant came in, once again the starting quarterback, and he came in and threw 4 interceptions and only 67 yards. He only had 19 attempts and completed half of them, but it was hard to tell whether both defenses had the opposing offense's number or if both offenses went out on a party boat before the game. There's no excuse for the way either offense played, and it was one of those close games that could have went either way the majority of the game. Carson Wentz from the Eagles, he didn't do much better than Tennant. He came in, threw 24 times for only 123 yards and threw 3 interceptions, 2 of which went to Logan Ryan. The difference maker in the game was the corner for the Eagles. He came in, he intercepted a screen pass, took it back to the house, and the final score against the Eagles was 3-16 in the ugly defensive game that was Week 14. For our last division game of the season, we take on the Miami Dolphins down in Florida. It's a game that is super important to the team because for the last few years the Dolphins have not been able to sweep us on the season, so it's something that they're looking to continue to prevent this year in this late season matchup.
The Dolphins have every intention of walking out of today's game with win number 4 on the season. It's the Patriots going up against the Dolphins.
One thing's for sure, when a team's having a down season, no matter how down of a season they're having, they always look for some kind of spark to lift the team's morale, and especially late in the season to try to lift the morale going into the following season. And the defense and the special teams this week against the Dolphins were just the spark that we needed. The defense came in, recorded 5 sacks, forced 3 turnovers, returned 2 punt returns for a touchdown, and had a kick return returned down to the 6-yard line. There really wasn't a lot of pressure put on the offense throughout this entire game, and that really helped the team because the quarterback play has been horrendous this year. So they didn't really have to get out there and try to force passes. They didn't have to try to come back from a deficit in this game or try to make sure that they have some sort of run game to keep the defense honest. It was really just a defensive shutdown by the Patriots defense, and that was something that really helped the team out. When you have a struggling offense and you've struggled all year long and your defense can come in and show your offense, hey guys, we're here to play, we're here to win. Regardless of if you guys are struggling, we're here to hold the team on our back if we have to, and that's really what they've done throughout this entire game. Was they put the team on their back, and there was really the Dolphins didn't really stand a chance in this one. It ended up 37-13. The Patriots win comfortably in Miami. After a 10-point loss to the Browns in week number 16, we go to our final game of the season, which is the 3rd installment of the BTF Bowl, the Building the Franchise Bowl, in which we've won the first 2 against the Jaguars, and we bring the Jaguars into Foxborough. And I'm going to send you out to Sunny and OSU for the pregame show and the broadcast for the game.
The Building the Franchise Bowl between the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The New England Patriots today, they're making the decision to start Nick Doring once again. This is a team that has sort of had the quarterback carousel. Tony Romo, Turner Tennant, Nick Doring, all getting options at the quarterback position. Doring, the second-year man out of Wisconsin. He came onto the scene last year and was really a nice change of pace in New England, but turnovers have plagued him. He's getting another shot today. Not a lot of attempts on the year, only 33 pass attempts, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. In your opinion, Sonny, is Nick Doring the guy that can lead New England to a win today in the BTF Bowl?
Well, if he doesn't, he may be looking for a new job next year. And either way, he actually may be looking for a new job next year. Rumors coming out of New England right now is that Doring's on his way out. Talks of possibly drafting his replacement with 2 picks in the top 5. The Patriots definitely have the ammo to grab one of these great rookie quarterbacks we're expecting to see next year. So as far as Doring's concerned, he may be interviewing for his job for his next team that he'll be playing for next season, not necessarily here in New England.
Coming up next, we're going to send it out to Foxborough for the BTF Bowl, third edition of this one. Patriots leading it 2-0. We'll see who wins this week, week 17 on MBL Live.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
Deck of Dog saying Jacksonville 24-20. Sort of split right down the middle here in this competitive Building the Franchise Bowl. Shotgun formation. Tercera's going to be throwing it, and he does indeed look underneath, and a great tackle made on Allen Hurns. He's going to come down short of the line. Hurns running that drag route. He ran it underneath the first down line. A shoestring tackle made. It's going to force Jacksonville on a punt on a play that they should have had a first down on. Formation for Doring, and it's going to be handoff to McKnight right up the middle, who makes a couple men miss. He's able to get up to the 11-yard line. McKnight showing off his strength. A 5-yard gain to get this to a 3rd and manageable.
It's going to end up being a long drive. They need to try not to push it too early, just sustain.
Handoff to McKnight, who shakes and bake, makes a man miss, and he's got a lot of room. He's up to the 40, the 30, one man to beat, shake and bake. He's going to get taken down from behind, but he takes it up to the opponent's 20-yard line. A huge rush there for DeMarcus McKnight. Gets him into the red zone. 60 yards on that one and a first down for New England. 2nd and 5, Doring dropping back to pass here in the red zone. He looks over the middle. It's an overthrow and it is intercepted back on the 3-yard line. Scooby Wright with the pick, and that was just a straight up timing route. Unable to come up with that one. It looked like the wide receiver and Doring were not together. And unfortunately, a huge turnover in the red zone, and Jacksonville is going to come away after giving up the big run with no points given up on that drive. 3rd and 7, Doring's going to come out in the pistol formation, 3 wide receivers over to the left, 1 tight end to the right. And Collins in the backfield for Doring, looking to convert this 3rd and 7 on the 46-yard line. He's going to be passing. He looks over the middle, and he completes it to Braxton Miller down to the 30-yard line. A nice throw made by Doring right up the scene, and a huge conversion there. New England trying to drive here after turning it over in the red zone last time. They completed 24 yards in that play and a first down. They're just going to settle for a field goal here as they're on the 30-yard line. It's a 47-yard field goal attempt. The ball is down. The kick is up. Almost blocked, but it is good, and New England an early 3-0 lead. 2:18 to go here in the first half as Tercero's going to come out, 3 tight ends, and Reed in the backfield at the top of that I formation as they are looking to pound this one in the end zone. It's going to be handoff to Reed right up the middle, and he's going to muscle his way into the end zone, and Jacksonville answers that early field goal with a touchdown of their own to go up 6-3 over New England. 2 wide receivers for Doring, McKnight in the backfield. They are going to hand it to McKnight over the left side. He makes a man miss. He's got a lot of room over there. He's up to the 10, the 5, touchdown New England. McKnight hits the hole hard and is able to rush it 49 yards for a New England touchdown. What a big play. Sonny Weaver, I know that's not one of those traditional splash plays. That's a huge one here for New England. 16 seconds in counting. Doring dropping back to pass here on 2nd and 4. He's taking a shot over the right side to Braxton Miller, and he throws an interception. New England had an opportunity to play it safe there, but Jalen Ramsey over on the right side picks off Nick Doring, and Doring just straight up overthrew it. It was an unnecessary shot made, and we'll be looking back maybe if New England, if this is a close game, that could be a turning point in this game for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So we go into the locker room at the half with a 3-point lead, 10-7 over Jacksonville. And for the second half of this game, or to view the game in its entirety, make sure you go to youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the offseason information and draft information following the season 22. For the free agency period, the most notable losses for the team were wide receiver Julian Edelman and cornerback Logan Ryan. The rest of the players that were released from the team weren't necessarily huge playmakers on the team and or were backup players on the team, so they weren't really a big loss. But in free agency, we ended up adding Eric Berry and Kendall Fuller as the 2 biggest names, as well as got some much-needed veteran help on the offensive line with Bowling, Glasgow, Shorts, and Allen. In the season 23 draft, the number 3 overall pick was ours due to the trade we made last season with the Minnesota Vikings, which seemed to pay off as we selected quarterback Steven Zott out of Oklahoma. And with a newly revamped offensive line and the struggles we had last season at quarterback, Zott is expected to come in as the starting quarterback week 1 in the regular season. And for the number 5 pick, which is our own pick in the first round, we select wide receiver Cortez Boger. This senior out of Pittsburgh was highly sought after by most MBL teams due to his height as well as his speed.
Cortez Boger out of the University of Pittsburgh, able to beat his man straight line speed down the field. Nobody's going to catch him. He's going to walk in for a Pitt touchdown. One of the things he can do is he can break off the man and cut inside. Look at him. Use the hands, make the catch. Unbelievable route running from this guy. Shredding man coverage all day. There's going to be a lot of cornerbacks that are going to have nightmares dreaming about covering this guy. Once again, that straight line speed, you think you're going to fall for it, and he cuts it to the outside. This guy is an absolute playmaker. There is nobody like him. He can do the route running. He can take the screens. Watch him take this screen, breaks the tackle, cuts it back to the inside, makes a man miss, and goes all the way to the house. This guy, once he gets the ball in his hands, he is a nightmare for defenders. Look at that man. Do you want to tackle that man? Takes the jet sweep to the left side of the field, outruns 1 defender, 2 defenders, 3 defenders. Simple handoff all the way to the house. This guy is a machine. People have had questions about his speed. He ran a 4.46 40 at the combine, but I'm telling you, this guy can straight up fly. You give him the ball short, he can take it to the house. You're going to throw it deep, he can go downfield and get it. This guy is an absolute stud. Day 1 starting wide receiver from Pittsburgh, Cortez Boger.
With the remainder of our picks, we selected right tackle Parker Nolan to learn behind the veteran offensive line, as well as some depth players at halfback, left guard, wide receiver, corner, and right end. And as I said already, Zot is expected to come in as the starting quarterback in the regular season, especially with Tony Romo's retirement following the MBL season 22. And Zot was informed by head coach Hedrick during the training camp that he is the day one starter. He will not have a quarterback competition against Nick Doring for the starting position in season 23. And with no major position battles in the preseason this year, we're just going to look at some highlights here as we round up this episode and finish it out as we move forward and get ready for regular season week number 1. One of the big things I do want to let you guys know is that there are some great changes coming. There's some great additions being added to the series, and that's with the help of Heartless in the MBL network. And these new additions are going to come on the next episode number 15 of Building the Franchise with the New England Patriots. And as always, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, or maybe you're feeling just a little unwelcomed and want to figure out how to get into the MBL, leave us a comment down below and we'll get back with you as quickly as possible. And make sure you click the subscribe button down below to make sure you stay up to date with all things MBL.